So I've never been a language person. I got some basic French at school like we all did, and I actually even managed to get a Scottish Higher, which is an A-level equivalent. I did a huge amount of work and I actually got a lower grade than the other Scottish Highers I was doing. But I never felt I could speak French. And I remember going on sailing holidays with my father to Brittany, and he wasn't a language person, wasn't academically strong, and yet he could speak French and understand what was being said in the bars and cafes and restaurants and the ports around Brittany in France when we went sailing over the summer. He'd spent 9 months in Quebec, French-speaking, in Montreal, French-speaking Canada. Which isn't long, but he had this sort of confidence and he understood what was being said. I've been 10 years in Poland nearly, and I don't think I have the same confidence in speaking Polish as he did in speaking French. And I remember just, it was like hitting it's like hitting your head against a wall. Anyway, so I'm now living in Poland. It's interesting how, the universe life represents challenges that you perhaps haven't transcended in earlier life. And I have hit a glass ceiling because, there was a honeymoon period where I was just enjoying being in a new capital, but now I'm been here for a number of years, and I feel like I'm not part of the community, not part of the society, someone on the outside looking in. And I think one of the keys there is simply the language. I'm in a choir, and the teacher got a bit annoyed with me yesterday morning, and she speaks in Polish, the conductor speaks in Polish, and it's just a constant source of irritation. I've done thousands of hours of classes. Every time I go to a Polish class, it feels like I'm going to the dentist. It's not pleasant. I've had private teachers, I've been part of conversation groups. Some people think that I've got a reasonable level of Polish, like friends who've got pretty basic, no Polish at all. But I know that that's not the case. When I'm in a coffee shop, even just a coffee shop, the minute I start to have a conversation that goes outside asking for a sandwich and a flat white, I'm floundering, Things reached a head when the Polish language school that I've been with for a number of years, and I must be one of their biggest investors, presented me with a certificate at an end-of-year party, and for a faint and fond moment, I thought that I was going to be given the certificate of the best student of the year. No, it read, this is a certificate, an award for the most hard-working and committed student, and it was a make-up award. They were kind of teasing me, and basically they were congratulating my stubborn persistence in the face of all obstacles to try and master some level of fluency in speaking Polish. And it's funny because I go into a language class, like just before Christmas I went into, I was having a language class, speaking reasonably good Polish with a private teacher, and we went to the Christmas market at the Palace of Culture to actually have a class in real life. And the minute, I tried to ask for a coffee or a burger, the person replied, and I didn't understand what they said, and I didn't know how to respond, and I was already at sea. And I was, over 1,000 hours of classes, and can I come to this? I can't even ask for a bottle of milk in Jabka. Well, I can actually, but if it comes back with anything that's slightly sophisticated, like, did you realise that bottle of milk that you're holding in your hand is soya milk and not normal milk, or it's full fat milk, or semi-skim milk? Just have a conversation about the milk and ask for money, and I will give you money and I can count. So it's like I'm just like, this isn't me, I should just give up, because quite frankly, to master it's going to take a kind of 18-month intensive. I've not got a Polish job. Another idea I've got, without a job you're never going to be able to learn Polish. I'm not living in a village. Everybody here speaks English. In fact, they want to speak English, so when you're trying to speak Polish, they interrupt you in English. So, but I think about like other situations, like the dating, like the skiing. For 15 years I couldn't ski, and I gave up for nearly 10 years, and then accidentally the universe provided. A client was married to a ski instructor and had to spend a week in an Austrian ski resort in peak season. I mean, there is some serendipity or synchronicity in the world, don't you think? And in a week, if things had flipped round, I could ski, and I was enjoying it. I was enjoying it because I could do it, and I had some confidence in it. Now, I wasn't a master skier in that 1 week, so it wasn't all about, but I'd reached, I was on my way, and I went back, obviously, and improved my skills over time, become a reasonable skier. But interesting, it wasn't a shed load of work. So I'm left with a curious question, which is, am I not a language person or not? Where's the truth of this situation?